Welcome in. It's time for another edition of Soccer Over There on the SDH Network. It never stops. There's games happening right now. CONCACAF is kicking off with Honduras and Haiti at 8 o'clock. You can watch on Paramount Plus. There's the other football going on right now with the home team, the Atlanta Falcons, hosting the Buffalo Bills at the Benz, the drop top Benz tonight with the roof open. That's why I'm not at the brew house tonight because, it would be kind of complicated trying to avoid NFL audio that would go on our stream. And we don't need that. We don't need the NFL coming after us.
No, that would never be good if the Shield sat there and dropped a major envelope from the FedEx people on the front stoop, and you're like, well, what's this? Oh, Roger Goodell. He sent us a note. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing ever, especially if it's just thin.
Yeah, I don't need that. So we're in the remote spaces tonight. Getting ready for a big day of World Cup qualifying tomorrow worldwide. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what we learned today, where things stand. We'll look ahead a little bit to the weekend, some big games at the club level, as we'll get into picks of the week and all of the other news. But we got to start with the big news of the day. Cabo Verde. They are into the World Cup for the first time. They are the second smallest country to ever make it. They had to sweat a little bit today against Eswatini, who had not won at all in qualifying. I think they have the longest streak going in FIFA right now without a win. So they played well, but Cabo Verde is able to get it done, and they are into the World Cup for the first time ever.
48th minute, 54th minute. Literally, if you watch the first 45, you're sitting there going, man, Eswatini's hanging with them. And there were a couple of early chances in the first half for Eswatini, and then there were a couple of close calls in the first half for Cabo Verde. And then literally I turn away. I have it up on the big 55, and it's like, okay, I know what's going on here. I turn away, try to do some business for halftime. I turn back. We're in the 55th minute, and they've scored twice. And I'm like, well, so much for that idea. And then they get the third one north of 90 plus. And to watch that environment as they were getting closer and closer and closer and closer to getting that win and getting the full points. The first one, they get the first goal on the board in the 48th and the 54th. They get the second one, and then, the roof starts to come off a little bit. And then they get the third one, and you've got people throwing things all over the stands, and they're on the verge of coming down and rushing on the track. And, I don't know if it was, what is it, 500,000 if you rush the field in the SEC for football?
Yeah, I don't think it's that in the CAF, but yeah.
And you get past 90 plus 4. It's a goal just shy of 90 plus 4, and then it's like a 2.5-minute celebration, and they got to get everybody back out there just so they can, drop the puck one more time, and you blow the whistle, and then all pandemonium breaks loose. And the video's out there on social media. A bunch of folks have posted to it on the 280 character app, just the joy that's attached to it. And they shut the city down early. It's like, if you're working and you're going, leave, just go to the game, get moving and get there. The place was packed. It was a fantastic environment, and I could not be happier to see a minnow like that make the story.
The coolest element is Stopira, who came on as a late sub, and he scored the last goal. He had been away from the team for a while, came back in when there were some injuries. He started with the national team in 2008. He's 37 years old. And they put him on just kind of as an acknowledgement to have him on the field when they book their spot at the World Cup, and he gets that stoppage time goal. So everybody loses their minds. You want to tell everybody about the video that you were able to get today?
It was trying to, in a roundabout way, try and secure some interviews for future episodes of SDHAM, whether it's us, whether it's SOT or the Roots or what have you. And I was trying to track down any kind of post that I could find. And so I send an email to the Columbus Crew trying to track down Steven Moreira. And then I send an email to Shamrock Rovers, trying to get an email. Just give me a pathway so we can try and figure out how to catch up with folks when it comes to this roster. And then I get literally from Cathal Dervin, who is attached to Pico Lopez. I'm guessing, agent or something. And Cathal Dervin, after getting the heads up from Shamrock Rovers, hey, you need to talk to this guy because he's there and he's handling all of Pico's stuff. So send an email to this individual who is attached to Pico Lopez, and he's firing stuff back to me the entire afternoon. Okay, you want audio? Here's audio. You want video? Here's video. Just give us a credit. We'll try and get him for you at some point, but he is racing back to Portugal because his wife is about to give birth to their first child. So here's what we got on short notice from Cabo Verde.
Yeah, we'll share a little bit of this with you now. You'll be able to see all of it tomorrow morning on SDH AM. But from the airport, before headed back to Portugal, and big thank you to OTS Media, here is Pico Lopez, one of the stars of the show for Cabo Verde. Let's get this fired up.
Pico Lopez, congratulations. You're off to the World Cup. How does that feel?
Honestly, I can't really put it into words at the moment. It's such a surreal feeling. The relief, the overwhelming relief at the end of the game, the realisation that we did it, we're going to go to the World Cup. It's just, I'm overjoyed at the moment. It's an amazing feeling.
0-0 at half time. Was there a bit of apprehension or nerves at all going into the second half, or did you know it was there for the taking?
No, not really. Look, I think there was probably moments of frustration, and there were only a few moments of frustration in the first half, maybe with them taking time. But there was nothing else we could do. We couldn't control. We couldn't control what the team did or the referee did. We had to concentrate on our job, which I thought we done really well. We created a few opportunities in the first half. We knew if we continued to play the way we have, that the second half, that more chance would come, and thankfully we took them.
At 2-0, did you relax? At 3-0, were you confident this is it now, or what was your thinking in that second half?
Yeah, maybe when the third goal in. Up until then, I was just look, just get to the finish line. You never know what can happen in football. But the third goal in, I think with Stopiri scoring as well, it's a fantastic story for him. He's come out of retirement to join us on this World Cup campaign. This was his first few minutes, and to mark a goal is just an incredible story. So I think when that went in, I think there's only a few minutes left, and we knew we were there. It was just a matter of seeing out the game. So I was trying to get everyone back onto the pitch just so we could end the game as quick as possible.
Yeah, you were here. You were a young boy when Ireland qualified for 2002. I mean, how does this compare for the island, for the 600,000 inhabitants, for all the people from Cape Verde in America? It must be incredible.
It's amazing. I think a few people text me they've been trying. It was always a dream of the people, but I think since I've been involved, it's been a growing sort of dream, a growing feeling that in this group we could achieve it. And to achieve that today, just to put this team on the biggest sporting event for me, definitely the biggest in football, on that stage, the people of Cape Verde to see their team there as well, it just gives them an immense sense of pride, and to create history together with this group, it's a fantastic feeling.
And you've beaten Cameroon to automatic qualification. I mean, that's a big achievement.
Yeah, it's amazing, and do you know what it is? We were there on merit. There was no sort of good fortune. There was no sort of but this Cameroon weren't the strongest. We were into the weak group. We were in a really tough group, and we came out on top of it on merit. So it's an enormous achievement, and it's one we can take pride in as well.
My number 4, my number 4.
Here we go.
Well, here we go.
That was Pico Lopez from the stadium before he got to the airport. Lights kept going out. It was chaos, but there you go. Some exclusive stuff. Thank you to OTS Media for making that happen.
Absolutely true. Defender right now for Shamrock Rovers. And so trying to race back from that particular moment, obviously can't thank them enough for helping us out with that. But I mean, when was the last time that you ever heard of anyone getting a gig? Well, I mean, it gets getting a gig in sports through LinkedIn. We get gigs through LinkedIn all the time in the modern day. But what about getting a gig for your national team through LinkedIn, huh?
Well, yeah, if people don't know, this is kind of about 6-7 years ago when Cabo Verde was trying to recruit some of the players who had ties to the islands but weren't there and didn't grow up there. And Pico Lopez is one of those guys. He obviously, as you can hear from his accent, not the typical, maybe you might think, player representing Cabo Verde, but he got a message on LinkedIn in Portuguese, and he didn't think anything of it. He thought it was a phishing scheme or whatever, and he didn't respond to it. Then he got one later in English, and he's like, oh, wait a minute. Yes, I would like to try this. And it worked out really well for him. Going to be one of those amazing stories that we'll see play out between now and next summer.
Yep. Literally born and raised in Dublin, given up hope of representing the Republic of Ireland on any kind of senior international level. And he said in an interview with CNN Sport ahead of AFCON back in January, when I was in college, one of our modules required us to set up a LinkedIn account. And it ended up being through LinkedIn. 5 or 6 years later, manager at the time messages me in Portuguese, which I didn't understand. Thought it was a welcome message. I ignored it. And then Rui Aguas messaged him once again in English, reconsidered the offer. He Google translated the thing. And, and he's like, yeah, I've just been offered the chance to represent the national team there at the archipelago. And so, you know, the Blue Sharks, he's 18 caps in heading into the tournament. And so fantastic stuff. And yeah, we will be, we have also, full disclosure, reached out to the national team to see if we can get some kind of comment from them as well when it comes to this run that they have been on that is literally now just starting over in its next stage with them making it to the World Cup in 26.
Let's get caught up on everything going on in Africa because there's some big games tomorrow. We don't know who's going to the playoff yet. We do know who's going in a lot of groups. There's still some spots up for grabs. So we'll go all the way through. Group A, Egypt won it. Burkina Faso is the ones that could get into the second round. Group played out about like you would expect. Group B, Senegal, they are on the verge. They will play tomorrow. DR Congo could pass them. The other one would be in second. Nobody else can catch up there. We'll get the schedule for tomorrow here in a second. Group C, Benin is in first right now, 2 points ahead of South Africa. Nigeria is 3 points back. One of the three will go as the group winner. The other one, or the next one of the three, probably won't go. It's touch and go, and there's been a little bit of a change that had been communicated to the countries involved, but not to the media that we'll talk about with the playoff format here in a second. Welcome to World Cup qualifying in Africa. Cabo Verde, they won Group D. Cameroon second. They have a very good chance of going into the playoff, but it is not 100% yet. Morocco will go through out of Group E. Niger is the second place team. They have a shot. It's a slim one, it looks like, to get into the playoff. Group F is another wild one with Cote d'Ivoire on 23 points, Gabon on 22. They both play tomorrow. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Whoever doesn't go will almost certainly go into the playoff. Group G, Algeria has clinched it. Uganda is in second on 18 points. They should be fine. Mozambique has been eliminated, so Uganda will be able to go into the playoff potential. We'll look at that table here in a second. Tunisia won Group H, and Namibia finished second ahead of Liberia. Likely not going to go into the playoff. Ghana finished first in Group I. Madagascar has the opportunity to get in, but it doesn't look very good. And here's why. The runners-up, you can't look at it just on the table and then compare points. That's not going to work out here because you have, in March, the CAF notified the member associations that their matches against the sixth-place team would be taken out of the ranking of runners-up due to the withdrawal of Eritrea in Group E. So instead of giving whoever finished second in that group a 3-0 win by default, they're taking out all of the matches against the last-place team. That really helps Cameroon because they drop points to Eswatini. So that helps them a ton. Right now, it is going to be Gabon, who is assured of at least going to the playoff. At least. They can still win the group, but they are minimum guarantee for the playoff. Cameroon is next on 15 points. They should be fine. It's not guaranteed, but they should be fine. Burkina Faso is next on 15. Niger is on 15. So they could be okay. But here's where it gets interesting with DR Congo, with Uganda, with South Africa in terms of jumping them. South Africa can't. DR Congo can. Madagascar is out. They cannot because they're done. Uganda can still get there as well. So there's a lot to look at tomorrow with these games that are going to be going on in Africa in terms of who wins the groups, but also who gets into the playoff that'll happen next month.
Yep. Gabon has Burundi tomorrow. And once again, this is looking at it from the second place perspective. Once again, 16 points. They have a matchup with Burundi. We'll get into standings and matchups in a sec. DR Congo, once again, they play Sudan.
Hold up. Let's say in that group. So Group F, it's Gabon hosting Burundi at 3 o'clock. Cote d'Ivoire hosting Kenya at 3 o'clock. Cote d'Ivoire is leading the group. Both are games that the home teams should win. They are both large favorites. Cote d'Ivoire, an even larger favorite. So Gabon should be one of the second, or they are one of the second place teams, no question. They probably won't pass Cote d'Ivoire, so they'll probably have to go into the playoff. That's Group F.
Okay.
Let's go to Group B because you have to look at DR Congo. They are hosting Sudan. They are a favorite. They're minus 371 according to the juice boxes. So they should be able to take care of business there. Then you start to double check things. Sudan is third in the group. So this game will affect their total. And if DR Congo wins, as they're expected to, they would jump ahead of Cameroon, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Niger would be the one who would get dropped if DR Congo jumps them, because they'd go to 16 points.
All right, and you've got goal difference and all the other math that has to be there. DR Congo.
There's no goal difference in this one, John.
Okay.
No, don't confuse people more because it's already confusing.
Okay.
Because there's no goal difference because they would have 16 points. Everybody else would have 15.
Yeah, I was talking about the 15. Sorry, I wasn't talking about the 16.
That's Niger is the last one. They are +1. Burkina Faso is +6. Cameroon is +9. So Cameroon has the priority out of the teams on 15. Burkina Faso is second. Niger is the one who would get dropped if somebody jumps them, and that would be DR Congo. Now, Uganda, when you go to Group G, they are on the road at Algeria, and they are an underdog. Mm-hmm. So now Algeria's already qualified, but they're the other ones that could jump up into this mix. I don't think they're going to. Just because I don't see them going to Algeria and getting the win. Now, if they do, they would also jump Niger. They would not jump Burkina Faso. They are +3. If they win, they would go up from +3, obviously. DR Congo should go up from +4. So then you start looking at Burkina Faso, and can somebody get to +6 and get on 15 points? DR Congo can't because they're on 13. There's no way for them to end on 15. Uganda can, but can they jump enough? Because remember, if DR Congo wins and Uganda wins, DR Congo goes up, Niger falls out. Then Burkina Faso's in the last spot. Uganda would have to win by 3 at Algeria to level that. And if they win by 3 and also concede a goal, so let's say they score 4, then they could get ahead on goals scored. So it is not likely, but it is mathematically possible for Uganda. Now, the group that is the chaotic one is the one that has been chaotic the whole time, South Africa's group, because of the ineligible player situation, because of where all of that stands. So to lay this one out, Benin is on 17 points. They are leading the group right now. They are at Nigeria tomorrow, who has a shot to go. Mm-hmm. So that automatically sets up chaos. If Nigeria wins by 2, no, if they win by 1, sorry. If they win by 1, let's say they win 1-0, they go to +4, Benin falls to +4. They're both on 17 points. And if Nigeria wins 1-0, then they both finish at 12-8 on goals and goals against. Yeah, have fun with that. I have no idea what they will do to tie break that one. It might not matter because South Africa could jump in that situation because they are 2 points behind Benin. They are hosting Rwanda. Now, Rwanda has been pretty good in this qualification process. They're on 11 points. They were in it fairly late. They are massive underdogs at South Africa here. So if Nigeria wins, then they're also going to need help from Rwanda to get in. Nigeria, the chance of them, I'm trying to see if there is one. There is if they draw, and South Africa, no, they can't even get into the second place. Sorry. Trying to do math on the fly. It's very difficult. They can't get into the second place situation because they're too far back. A draw wouldn't help them. Their only way to go is to win the group. And to do that, they would have to win by multiple goals, and they would have to have Rwanda go to South Africa and hold them to a draw or beat them.
Plus 482 or plus 1595 for Rwanda to win outright.
I have plus 2,000 for them to win outright.
Oh wow! And this is a composite, so I don't know where yours is, but yeah,
it's just on SofaScore. I have a plus 2,000. So yeah, that's going to be chaos. So that group is the noon kickoffs tomorrow. If you're looking at DR Congo to see what they do, they're in the 3:00 slot, along with the Gabon and Cote d'Ivoire matches. You also at noon have the Uganda at Algeria match that is going to need a miracle to get through, but anything is possible when it comes to qualifying in Africa.
And I mean, then you have the Benin story where they're a plus 726 in the composite from what I'm staring at. Nigeria, big favorite at home. Benin this close to making it to the World Cup. Both windows are worthy of. Now, have you been watching regularly when you can? Have you been watching the African qualifiers?
Yeah, I've been watching a decent bit of them when I can.
Okay, so are you in the quad box, the triple box, or are you just focusing on a match?
I usually focus on a match. I sometimes will do a double if I need to, but I typically try to focus on one. I don't like having the multiple on the big screen. I like to have one game there, and I like to have a second game on a tablet if I need to separate.
Yeah, I had the quad box on the big 55 today just to kind of keep an eye on things. But then with the Cabo Verde match, obviously that was just monopolized and was on pretty much every other monitor known to mankind.
All right, so that's Africa. Tomorrow, big time stuff going on in Asia as well. So let's get into that one. It's a lot more cut and dried. It's a lot easier to explain. I can guarantee that one for you. You do have a little bit of chaos when it comes to it. So we're in the fourth round in Asia. We're down to the last games. It is a group stage situation, so it kind of falls pretty easy to explain. The first game is at 1:00. It is in Qatar. Qatar hosting the UAE. UAE has the advantage here because they beat Oman. They're on 3 points. Qatar tied Oman. They're on 1 point. So really simple. UAE goes through with a draw. Qatar goes through with a win. Very simple. Now, the element that gets a little complicated is when you start to look at who finishes second and who goes into the fifth round in Asian qualifying, which is a playoff to see who goes into the interconfederational playoff next March. Because Qatar's not guaranteed of that. Oman could slip into that. Here's why. They drew, obviously, so they're both on 1 point. Oman lost by 1 to Qatar. If UAE beats Qatar by 2 goals or more, then Oman will have a better goal differential on the single point, and they will go into the playoff. Carlos Queiroz is rooting for the UAE to run up the score on the hosts, Qatar. That one is pretty even. Qatar is a favorite, but not by an insane amount. I have it at plus 138 to plus 225. The fact that UAE can get through with a draw, I'm really curious to see how they play it.
Update off to my left in CONCACAF. Honduras is on the board, but it is under review right now in the 18th minute. So Honduras might be leading 1-0 in Group C. We don't know yet. Well, we have the hand up. We have the stop sign up from the center ref as he is getting chirped at in his ear.
Yeah,
so I guess he's pacing and trying not to be anywhere within earshot of other players.
Yeah, good luck with that.
all the players are now all the players are trying to work their way around the center ref, and you're getting this from center ref while everyone's trying to crowd around him. We have a Derek Etienne Jr. sighting. We have cameras and cutaways and furrowed brows, and we're still waiting for any kind of a review if it's going to go to a monitor or what. But right now, Honduras in a holding pattern, leading 1-0 pending review in Group C.
We also have Michael Penix slanging right now at the Benz, which is always good to see.
As long as Tyler Algier gets some touchdowns, I'm in good shape.
Drake London's catching a lot of passes. Group B in Asia. That game will kick off at 2:45 tomorrow. Saudi Arabia hosting Iraq. This one is pretty cut and dried as well. Both are on 3 points. Both are going to stay alive at the end of the day. One will automatically qualify. The other one will go into the playoff in November. Saudi Arabia has the advantage because they have more goals scored. Both have a +1, but Saudi Arabia won 3-2 over Indonesia. Iraq won 1-0. So if it is a draw, Saudi Arabia will go through as the group winners. Iraq will go into the playoff against the second place team from Group A. The numbers for that one, according to our friends at SofaScore, Saudi Arabia a pretty big favorite, -143. Iraq +450 to win.
Goal stands, Honduras up 1-0, 21st minute, and Haiti chasing after an equalizer well over the bar from Danley Jean-Jacques.
Yeah, I know him. Let's get into where that stands at the moment. So Honduras with the lead would go to 8 points. If they hold this lead, 2 wins, 2 draws, they would go into first place in the group. Haiti would be in second on 5. Costa Rica on 3, Nicaragua on 1. They play later tonight. Costa Rica is drawing all 3 games. So Honduras would create some separation. I think it would put a little more pressure on Costa Rica to get a win tonight. They drew with Nicaragua the first time out in Nicaragua, which was a big surprise. So Honduras getting a win, they're at home, they should. That would put more pressure on Piojo and Costa Rica tonight.
Yep. And right now, remember, that one's at 10 o'clock. You can catch that one after we are off the air on either Universo or on CBS Sports Network on your viewing preferences this evening, one of 2 places.
Yep. So CONCACAF other groups. Now, in CONCACAF, I want to make sure I have it right because I think it's a little weird the way that SofaScore has it. Let's go to this right here. Third round in CONCACAF. 12 teams still left. Not all of them are actually still left. Some of them are just playing out the string. Maybe not mathematically, but basically. The group winners will go to the World Cup. The best 2 of the 3 second place teams, the best 2 will go into the Interconfederation playoff. 2 CONCACAF teams in the Interconfederation playoff. So this is game 4 in Group C that's going on tonight. So we're getting into the second half of this group stage. It's 4-team groups. You play each team home and away, so 6 games. Group A, Suriname is on top on goals scored over Panama. Both are on 5. El Salvador's on 3. Guatemala's on 2. Everybody's still alive there going into the second half of the bracket. Group B, Curacao, huge win over Jamaica. They are in the lead on 7. Jamaica's on 6. Trinidad and Tobago on 4. Bermuda mostly eliminated on 0. And then Group C, like we talked about, Honduras would take command of it with a win tonight over Haiti. Costa Rica would really need to get a win over Nicaragua to stay within 2 points.
And right now, 24th minute, still 1-0, rushing back the other way, trying to get a second goal on the board is Honduras. And I just realized that you mentioned Bijan Robinson. I'm playing against him tonight in my fantasy, so I'm probably going to lose.
Yeah, Bijan's having a day. He's having a day. Your games tomorrow, Panama and Suriname play in Panama, so that'll be a must-watch at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. El Salvador hosting Guatemala. That's also really important. Somebody needs to win that to really stay within shouting distance. Then Group B, Curacao is hosting Trinidad and Tobago. That's a big one. Jamaica hosting Bermuda, which they should win. So Jamaica should go to 9. Curacao is going to need to follow up on their win over Jamaica and beat Trinidad and Tobago, who, if they don't, Curacao would go to 10. Jamaica would go to 9. Trinidad and Tobago would be on 4 and basically be on life support.
Curacao right now a favorite on the minus side. Jamaica, huge favorite on the minus side. We're talking like minus 2,000 against Bermuda. Panama, big favorite north of minus 300. Suriname, a plus 850 in the composite on my end. El Salvador is favored, but it's on the plus side. And the margin with Guatemala was a little bigger than it was to start. And so now you're talking El Salvador favored on the plus side, but there is a bit of a margin there at a plus 150 or somewhere in there if you're looking at juice boxes.
Interesting. You want to get into Europe?
Let's get into Europe. What's going on? We can find out by how many goals San Marino has to lose by to still be involved in possibly getting into the World Cup.
I'm not sure if that's actually still in play at this point.
Man.
I don't think that it is.
Man.
So your scores today that were interesting. Let's start there. Germany with a 1-0 win in Belfast over Northern Ireland. They had to work for that one. They did not look all that convincing, but they are now on 9 points alongside Slovakia, who won at home against Luxembourg. Both are on 9. Northern Ireland's on 6, so they're still alive going into the November matches. Group B, Switzerland and Slovenia, a draw. That keeps the door open, especially after Kosovo beat Sweden. And Sweden cannot win the group now. They've been terrible in qualification. They could still get to second place, but that would take a miracle at this point. Kosovo has a shot to go automatically with that result of the Swiss being drawn by Slovenia. Group C, what we learned in this window is that Scotland, for some reason, plays bad and keeps winning. They were awful. They were awful in both games, but they won both games, both in Glasgow. That helps. They are on 10 alongside Denmark. That group is probably going to come down to Denmark at, let me make sure I got it right. No, it's Scotland at Denmark on November 18th. Second place will go to the playoff, and I think, yes, they are assured of the playoff at this point. Yeah, because Greece has been terrible and Belarus was awful, but they still gave Scotland a scare yesterday. Group D, France drew 2-2 in Reykjavik today. They're on 10 points. Ukraine's on 7, so they still have a shot to win the group. Iceland's on 4, so they still have a shot to be alive. Azerbaijan is eliminated on 1. They lost 2-1 to Ukraine today. They made Ukraine sweat. Group E, games tomorrow. Spain's on 9, Turkey's on 6, Georgia's on 3. Group F, games tomorrow. Portugal on 9, Hungary on 4, Armenia 3, Republic of Ireland on 1. So the second place spot is in play in Group F. Group G, the Dutch are 3 points ahead of Poland. They are probably going to finish out that way. Poland does get an opportunity to go to Amsterdam on November 14th and maybe try to turn it. The problem is the goal difference. It's the same thing Italy's dealing with. You're not going to be able to make up the goal difference in the 2 games you have left, even if you beat the team that's ahead of you. So Poland will be looking towards the playoff, but that's not guaranteed. Finland is hanging around. They only have 1 game left. Poland has 2, so Poland should be okay, but it's not guaranteed. One of those games, again, is in Amsterdam, so you might not pick up points there. Finland has to go to Malta. Or no, Finland hosts Malta, sorry. So Finland should win to go to 13. Poland obviously will try to beat the Dutch in the Netherlands, or sorry, in Poland, but Poland also has Malta, so they should be okay. They should be fine. No slip-ups against Malta, who has drawn 2 games. Yep. Give them a little bit of credit. The draws were against Lithuania, so I don't know how much that actually helps you.
Yeah, I know.
Malta's not good.
No, they're not. Serbia, massive favorite at Andorra. I may wear the Andorra shirt tomorrow just during SDHAM just because. Ireland, a big favorite on the minus side against hosting Armenia. Italy, big favorite on the minus side hosting Israel. England, massive favorite on the road at Latvia, basically a minus 2,000. Portugal, big favorite at home hosting Hungary, minus 455. Spain, they actually went up to a minus 10,000.
Yeah, they're going to be fine.
Against Bulgaria, and Turkey is a minus side favorite. Georgia's north of plus 400. All of those are at 245 tomorrow.
Running through the groups, Austria is 2 points ahead of Bosnia and Herzegovina. They finally slipped up and lost in this window, Austria. So that opens the door for Bosnia and Herzegovina. It also opens the door for Romania, who beat Austria. They're on 10, Bosnia and Herzegovina on 13, Austria on 15, with 2 games to play in November. San Marino is minus 31 on goal difference.
Okay, so
That's
I went and tried to find the article, Colin Miller at The Athletic. And they still, San Marino, according to Colin Miller, and this was posted this morning.
Yeah, but there were games today that I think affected this.
Oh, nuts.
Don't share faulty information, John.
Nuts. Well, then go.
And John, give me an update in CONCACAF.
It is 2-0, 30th minute now. Honduras with another goal on the board, and Haiti once again tries to get a goal back from distance, and it goes well over the bar. 2-0, 30th minute in Honduras.
Thanks, Hutch. Italy, 6 points back behind Norway. They could beat Norway and still not make up the 19-goal difference in goal differential. Italy's going to the playoff probably if they take care of Israel tomorrow. Group J, this one nearly got thrown out of whack today. It did a little bit for the second place spot. It nearly got thrown out of whack for the first place spot because Wales gave Belgium a tough one. Belgium ended up winning 4-2. They're on 14. North Macedonia drew at home to Kazakhstan. So they're now on 13. Wales is on 10. So Wales is 3 points out of a playoff spot. Wales has 2 games in November. North Macedonia only has 1. Belgium has 2 games in November as well. So Belgium will host Liechtenstein, and Belgium will go to Kazakhstan. They should be fine.
And Wales' next match is against Liechtenstein in November. So,
yes, the next games are in November. Wales will... Actually, hold on. Wales will first, yes, go to Liechtenstein. Then they will host North Macedonia. So let's play it out. Wales goes to Liechtenstein and wins. If they win by more than 6, then all they will need is a draw against North Macedonia. If they beat Liechtenstein by 5 or less, then they will need to beat North Macedonia. So the Liechtenstein game for Wales is actually really interesting because they need to run up the score on them a little bit. Now, if they win 6-0, let's say it's the minimum, and Liechtenstein has not scored a goal in 6 games, so that's very possible.
Matching the Belgium result was 6.
It's not the Belgium result that matters, John. It's North Macedonia and Wales.
I'm not worried. I'm just saying that the number that they scored.
I know, but that doesn't matter. That's the confusing part. Don't get confusing. It's about the goal difference with North Macedonia because that's the match that's going to determine who goes to the playoff. Belgium's winning the group. Doesn't matter. They're winning the group. They play Kazakhstan and Liechtenstein. They're winning the group. It's the second place because Wales plays Liechtenstein first. They beat them. They should. They go to 13 alongside North Macedonia. They need to win by 6 or more because if they don't, North Macedonia can advance to the playoff with a draw. Wales would then have to win. If Wales beats Liechtenstein by 6 or more, because even if it's 6 and they're both on +9, Wales will have more goals scored, so they'll have the upper hand. Wales has to beat Liechtenstein by at least 6, because then they'll be able to draw their way into the playoff. You want that advantage going into a last game where anything can happen. So the Wales-Liechtenstein game is actually very important for goal differential. Group K, England, they should be fine. Albania is right in the mix after beating Serbia. Serbia fired their coach. All kinds of chaos there after Albania went on the road and won that game. They have a 4-point advantage over Serbia, but Serbia has a game in hand on Albania. So the pressure is on Albania. They will go to England, they will host England November 16th. And that's, let me make sure I got it. No, they will also go to Andorra on the 13th. So 3 points, yes. More than that would be asking a lot. If they get the 3, then Serbia has to win both of their games left. One of those is hosting Latvia. They'll win that. And the other one is, they have 3 games left. Sorry. So they could jump them. They host Latvia. They go to Andorra. They'll win that. They go to England. So that group, the second place spot gets really interesting, but just remember that both Albania and Serbia get shots at England here. I don't think they're going to take them, but how those games go will affect the second place chase. The second place chase and the group winning chase in Group L is actually really interesting after the Faroe Islands have jumped up out of nowhere and started beating people on a regular basis.
Baby. They've won 4 of 5, by the way.
Yeah, but it's almost impossible for them to get through because they're down to 1 game left, and that is at Croatia, who has not lost and has only conceded 1 goal, and they've scored 20. They're on 16 points. The Czechs are on 13. The Faroe Islands are on 12. So the Faroe Islands have to beat Croatia to get to 15 points. Then they have to hope that somehow the Czechs don't beat Gibraltar. Yeah, it's going to happen. So sorry, Faroe Islands. It's been a fun run, but this is not happening for you. But they beat the Czech Republic, and supposedly after the game, the players would not let the manager back into the locker room. Somebody wouldn't let him back into the locker room, and the Czech manager might still be on the tarmac in the Faroe Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Don't lose the Faroe Islands. You get left. I mean, it's pretty pictures and it's a gorgeous looking stadium, but don't lose the Faroe Islands. You might not get your job back.
So the one thing I wanted to get into as it currently stands, because this has been an interesting thing to follow a little bit as we're getting down to this stage where we know quite a few teams who are in. We don't know all of them. There's a lot of things that could change because the group stage draw will happen on December 5th. And it's going to be determined by the FIFA rankings which pots you are in. So 22 teams have already booked their spot. Right now, and people are projecting things a little bit differently and how all that goes. But football rankings is one that I have followed. Pot 1 right now will be the 3 hosts. And then it will be Spain, it will be France, it will be Argentina, it will be England, it will be Portugal, it will be Brazil. Again, Portugal, England, France, Spain, they haven't booked their spot yet. They basically have. The Dutch and Belgium should be fine. It's the last team in right now in pot 1 is Germany. That's really close. From some of the projections I've seen, Germany and then Croatia and Morocco are at the top of pot 2. It's by like single points in the FIFA ranking system. That could change based off results here in November. So keep that in mind. Morocco is qualified. So you're then trying to play friendlies to pick up points and figure that out. And I'm not sure what they have scheduled off the top of my head. Croatia, Germany, Croatia, they should beat the Faroe Islands. That's one of their games left. That's not going to help you a ton in the points in the rankings. So Germany getting into pot 1 is massive for them if they get there and they take care of business the rest of the way. So pot 2 right now, after Croatia and Morocco, it's Colombia, Uruguay, Switzerland. Again, this is projection. Senegal, Denmark, Japan, Iran, South Korea, Ecuador, Australia. Now, you get down to the end of that, and I think Australia is in a swing situation with Austria in pot 3. Austria losing in this weekend, that puts them to pot 3. I think they were in pot 2 before. So that changes the paradigms a little bit. Pot 3, it's Panama, Norway, Egypt, Algeria, Paraguay, Cote d'Ivoire, Tunisia, Costa Rica, if they get through, which people are still projecting, which I'm not buying. Uzbekistan, Qatar, South Africa. South Africa, Saudi Arabia are right there in the swing situation. I don't think South Africa goes. Again, this is based off odds and things happening that we haven't been seeing. So I'm questioning the end of some of these pots and what could move around. When we get to the draw and we start to know what this is going to look like, you can have 2 European teams in a group. That's it. You can't have 2 of any other confederation in the same group. So it gets interesting when you get to the draw and you start looking at where the top teams are. You know, right now with that, you look at Croatia, Morocco, Colombia are 3 teams that you do not want out of pot 2. You know, you don't want Austria if they fall to pot 3. You don't want Norway out of pot 3 for sure. You want a crazy Viking Erling Haaland flying at you
no.
in pot 3? No, you don't want that. So it gets interesting. Let's say Italy goes through. Now, this is the other thing that's fascinating about this. So the teams that go through in the UEFA playoff in March or the Interconfederation playoff, which two will, they go into pot 4. So Italy could be a pot 4 team. Ukraine could be a pot 4 team. Cameroon could be a pot 4 team if they go through the African playoff and then go through the Interconfederation playoff. Those are teams you don't want out of pot 4. So just looking at this right now, you could see, for the U.S., for example, you could see the U.S., you could see Colombia, you could see Norway, and you could see Italy. That's a group of death situation right there.
Mm-hmm.
That could happen. So the pots for the draw, I think this is something that you'll probably revisit a lot on Wednesday when you've got all of the games from Tuesday. There's multiple people who are putting these projections out there. It's going to be really down to some individual results in November that's going to decide who settles into pot 1, who settles into pot 2, who settles into pot 3. And then the playoff teams, the playoff winners, are going to throw things way out of whack because they'll be drawn into spots, but we won't know who they will be until March.
Romel Kyoto with the goal off a rebound that scrambled around inside the 18. 41st minute, Honduras now 3 goals to the good against Haiti.
So Honduras has taken total control of that group. They should be in a good spot. DNL Hutch says Morocco does not have anything scheduled for November right now. Arab Cup in early December wouldn't help them with the rankings here for the pot situation. AFCON wouldn't help you either. So I would not be shocked if Morocco tries to find some friendlies here very, very quickly. And there has been a rumor out there. So in November, Argentina is scheduled to go to Angola and then go to India. The match in India has now been questioned by Teise and others. They might play Morocco, which opens up a big possibility for a big point swing for Morocco to potentially get to pot 1 if they beat a, maybe somewhat depleted Argentina in a friendly in Morocco.
Math, and trying to figure out how to avoid groups of death.
Well, you can't really avoid that part, unfortunately. You're just going to have to wait and see what happens. And you might think you're okay, and then Italy might end up in your lap if they get through the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Or Cameroon might end up in your lap if they get through the playoff. Yes. So I want to go back to a comment that Soccer for Good OG had. And which countries would you like to see in Atlanta for group games? I would like to see, obviously, Argentina. Duh.
Yeah.
I would, outside of the obvious one, I would like to see Korea or South Korea or Japan, because I think that would be fascinating for Atlanta's soccer community to see what those fan bases would be like up close. So we've never had a friendly with an Asian team like that. And there's a much bigger population in the metro area than you think. And people would travel to. It would be amazing. Colombia would be another one I would like to see outside of the obvious ones. Again, it's another one that, you go watch a Colombia game in bars. There are a lot of people there. I would say there may be, outside of possibly Honduras, they might be third out of non-U.S. this hemisphere. Mexico, Colombia might be right there. Honduras is in that conversation. I think out of the potential teams from CONCACAF, Honduras would be the biggest one that could draw. Jamaica wouldn't be bad, but I think Honduras would be more than that. So my vote's off the board, like kind of outside the box kind of possibilities. South Korea or Japan, Colombia. I'd love to see one of the minnows. I'd love to see Cabo Verde, but I think in terms of being a big story for the city, I would like to see Colombia, Honduras, Cabo Verde. South Korea, Japan. Those are the ones I keep coming back to.
Yeah. I mean, for me, because of the because of the West African population that we have here, outside of Cabo Verde, give me another team out of AFCON, maybe the Moroccans,
Yeah.
something like that. I think it would be just I think any kind of opportunity for those of us who have grown up here to see a culture that completely and totally engulfs itself in that particular product. And like I said, give me something like a Morocco or, like I said, Cabo Verde for me would be good. I mean, obviously you look at the European nations, what would it be like to have a Germany here, something like that. And outside of obviously, the US and the big three, but yeah, I like the Honduras shout. I like that a lot. And give me somebody completely and totally random that might be, if Benin makes it. That to me would be give me another good minnow that would be attached to it. But I like the Honduras shout. Obviously, the big three, you want to sit there and look at that, whether it's Mexico, Canada, the U.S. Give me a heavyweight out of Europe, but then something that can draw in the African population that we have here in the southeastern United States, and give me a couple of minnows, and I'll be happy.
Drake London just went and did the thing again. The Falcons are rolling right now. 28-7 or 27-7. They're about to go 28-7. Always good to see. The which European country question, soccer for good OG. Drake London stepped out. Disappointing. I would like to see Poland with Bartosz Szlich leading his team out into his building. And thinking about that, it would be very cool to see Paraguay and Almiron get the opportunity in his home building. That would be super cool. Dr. Coco with a good question, because I think this World Cup might be the time that this gets answered. How much longer until Morocco is considered a power and not a hipster pick? If they make it to the quarterfinals this time around, I think then there's your answer. If they bounce out in the group stage, they stay as a hipster pick.
Yeah.
If they get to the knockouts, then we'll debate it. If they get to the quarterfinals or better, then that's it. That's when they become a power. I think that's always the question when we talk about the African countries, and we've seen the North African countries kind of take the lead right now with Egypt, with Morocco, with Algeria, with Tunisia. I think we've seen countries have bursts of runs to get to that. Are you a power? Nigeria won an Olympic gold medal. Cameroon got to a quarterfinal in 1990. Cote d'Ivoire had tons of talent, and it never quite happened the way that you would have thought that it would. It takes, I think, back-to-back World Cups of being very, very good to then become at least a temporary power. I think Croatia is putting their way into that conversation. Now, will they be able to stay there as generations change? We'll find out. But Morocco, for me, they have to be in the final 8. I think that's the thing. Dino Hutch says, and I think it's a good point, their U20s have been maybe the best team at the U20 World Cup, knocking the U.S. out. They have a ton of talent. I think this is the thing, though, Dr. Coco, because Nigeria had a bunch of players in Europe at a time, too. Cote d'Ivoire had a bunch of players in Europe at top teams, and it never fully translated. Morocco has to put up back-to-back strong performances in a World Cup. They have to. That's how you become a power. One run doesn't make you a power. Turkey wasn't a power after 2002. South Korea wasn't a power after 2002. They didn't do anything in 2006 to that same level. If Morocco gets to the quarterfinals here, and with their U20s being as good as they are, they have every potential to do it. But it's to be a power, it's not about potential. It's about results. And I think they've got to back up that semifinal run with at least a quarterfinal run. That's how I feel about it. We've just seen it happen so many times. And it's happened in other continents too. Like, this isn't purely like an African conversation. This is South America. How many times have we seen Colombia make a run, then step back? It's Chile under Bielsa, and then under Sampaoli. They did things, but they didn't solidify it. They never did it consistently. Consistency is what makes you a power, not one generation. It's got to be consistency for me.
Looks like we are into the 4th minute of added here in the first 45. Set piece for Honduras, and we're north of 49 minutes, so this is probably the last action of the first half. We'll see what happens here. Does Honduras add a 4th from, say, just inside 30? Yeah, it might be right at about 30. Magic spray goes down, 4 on the wall for Haiti, and we will see what happens here to put a bow on the first 45.
Nice. One thing we do have to talk about really quickly, if I can bring this into the mix. I'm not going to be able to, I don't think. No, I can't. I don't have a picture for you. You're just going to have to play theater of the mind with me. The Wales-Belgium game got delayed by a rat on the field. A rat.
Like the thing that's like an ugly mouse and longer and nastier looking?
That's how you describe a rat? An ugly mouse?
Bigger, fatter, all those things.
It is described as a rat.
Okay.
Belgium was leading 2-1 in the second half. The rat was spotted outside the area of Thibaut Courtois. The goalkeeper tried to pick up the rat, but it escaped.
Oh, do you really want to pick up that rat in a situation?
I'm not. I mean, he's got gloves, but I'm still not.
Yeah, no.
Brendan Johnson for Wales ended up chasing it away through the sidelines as the crowd cheered.
Yes. The set piece goes well over the bar at the break. Rigoberto Rivas in the 18th, Anthony Lozano in the 26th, Romel Kyoto in the 40th. All 3 for Honduras. They lead Haiti at the break 3-0.
Rats on the field.
No, just no. I'm not. No, I'm like either trying to kick the thing is just get behind it and get all the momentum possible and just launch it into like the 9th deck or something, or running away from it. I'm not picking it up with my hands. Even if I've got the goal, even if the goal goes, no, not happening. No, I'm picking up a rat.
I'm telling the grounds crew to bring a bucket out there and try to drop the bucket on top of it.
Yeah, give me a bucket, give me a shovel, like one of those, like one of those big.
Oh, you want a shovel?
Or just like a big snow shovel kind of thing. Just.
Are you going to hit the rat with it, or are you going to try to scoop it?
No, I'm going to scoop it and try to put it in something, because if you just put the bucket down, the bucket's just going to be over the rat. And the second that you sit there,
so
and
John, wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out your strategy here. This is important. So a rat comes running onto the field. You're going to try to find a shovel and scoop the rat while damaging the field.
No, but if it's a shovel, you're not damaging the field, I don't think.
John, do you seriously think you're going to have that much control as you're trying to scoop a rat to not damage the field?
I'm thinking that the field in and of itself is very finely manicured and maintained. So I'm thinking that if you take the snow shovel and you just go right across the surface, I think you'll be okay. You're not diving into it like this. You're kind of scooping it across the top of the surface.
John, you're chasing a rat. You're not being able to sit there and be finely manicuring the field with the shovel. You're going to have to catch a rat. So if you're the grounds crew, you're going to try to scoop a rat with a snow shovel.
Sure.
If you're in a country that would have snow shovels, Wales would. Okay. And the crowd's going to go wild because you're going to swing and miss over and over again.
I'm not swinging at the thing. Like I said,
you're going to be trying to scoop. You're going to be swinging from underneath and you're going to miss. Or what's going to happen is you're going to scoop the rat and then it's going to run up the handle up your arm. How are you going to deal with that? What's the next step, John?
Probably fleeing at that point if that rat is running up my arm. But I figure
the rat runs up the arm. You're going to flee then with the rat running up your arm.
Well, I'm probably going like this, like my arm's on
going
fire.
To swing your arm maniacally.
Yeah, and if I'm wearing enough clothing, then I'm doing okay. And then, by the way, the rat has decided to leave the field to play with me, and then I can just shake it off and then just throw it under the stands or something.
All right. If you are running stadium ops, never hire John to deal with vermin that run onto a field.
You don't want me doing anything like that anyway.
You've been a red hat before.
Yeah, but that's just like wearing a hat and then
if the rat ran out onto the field, you would just sit there.
I would absolutely.
You would do nothing.
Absolutely.
You would not grab the broken broom and try to swipe the rat.
Why would you subject the broken broom, which is everything that symbolized?
It's a broken broom, John. Like it's not a person.
The broken broom is sitting there in 2 pieces, and we just admire the broken broom for all the effort that it put in, and let it be, and let it admire the situation as well. Let someone else who is of full import take care of that situation with the rat. A full piece of hardware should take care of that rat, not a broken broom. Let the broken broom enjoy the experience as well.
The broken broom is an Atlanta United 2 reference. If you were not with us in that whole sequence when there was an attempt to broom the field dry in one match this season, and the broom broke and was left by the bench. Dr. Coco says the shovel is good for either cutting the rat to death or smacking it until death. I would tend to agree. I would not really want to commit rat murder on the field in front of tens of thousands of people, because there'd probably be a lot of messages and videos made about me, and it could get really messy. It'd be bad.
That is true.
So I would not want to do that. I would try to, that's why I would go bucket on top of the rat, because then you can at least trap it and deal with it better.
But then the second that you, and then you're scooping because you're hoping that the rat would still be there. But the second that you lift that bucket, you've got that opening, and that rat's going to go out that way unless it's completely and totally petrified. And that's what you're banking on, that bucket is going to stay there like this. And then you lift the bucket, rat's either going to sit there and go, God, I'm scared, I'm not moving, or I'm running like hell and I'm going the other way.
John, I've got bucket skills. I can handle this. That would be the best way to deal with it, in my opinion. Dr. Coco is just murdering the rat in front of everybody.
Smashing it. Everybody gets mad. It's like, what are you doing?
Yes, Hutch, this is absolutely true, because I did not see this coming, and I am thoroughly entertained right now, and I hope that you guys are too, because I have no idea what goes through John's mind half the time.
I mean,
he's still trying to figure this out.
No. I'm trying to visualize. Okay, so I'm taking my Pate State mug. So let's say that this is your bucket.
Well, I'm thinking of what I have like at a stadium. So I probably have a bucket handy.
Yeah.
I could have a shovel handy. That is true.
Yeah.
I've probably got like some kind of like towels or jackets or things I could throw on top of it.
Sure.
I don't know if I got anything else I can work with here.
See, because, all right, so if this is a bucket, let's just say that this is Jason's bucket.
Well, the bucket's going to be a lot bigger than the rat, John.
I understand that, but
this is not a lot of foldable chairs. Yes, I could go totally ECW on the rat. Yes, that's true.
And so then what you're banking on, if once the bucket, which is obviously larger, this is not to scale, mind you.
Yes.
But if the bucket goes over said rat, and then you're like, boom, it's on top of the rat on the surface.
All right, number one, John, you have to keep calm in the situation.
Yeah,
you've got a rat in the field. Yeah. You've got to set the tone of calmness. So you've got to throw the bucket, not toss it. You've got to drop the bucket on the rat.
Right.
And then you've got to get the rat to go to one side to where you can flip it. And that's a tough skill. That's not an easy skill.
Yeah,
you couldn't just murder the rat with a broom or a
shovel, like
a folding chair. Like all of those are possible.
Right. And I get that. But that's the thing, is like the key would be your variant in this, but under normal circumstances, if you were to lift the bucket.
Well, you're not just going to lift the bucket. You have to do it right.
You're trying to lift and scoop simultaneously.
Yes. You have to know, you have to be paying attention. You have to be locked in. You got to focus. You got to know which side of the bucket the rat's on.
And you're trying to encourage to the backside, because what you're trying to do is go like this so that you scoop the rat at the same time and he's inside the bucket.
You're going to scoop it towards you.
I'm just in general, I'm scooping it sideways basically from me, where I'm not scooping it toward me like this.
That's what I thought you were doing. I'm like, why would you want to do that?
No, it's more for the end of the camera than anything. So what you're doing is the second that you lift that bucket, you're trying to scoop and you're trying to lift and hope that the rat, in the time that hasn't happened, that has happened, that the rat's not going to go out that way and go someplace else in the field.
Where you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused. I'm trying not to murder the rat. Dr. Coco, I've learned is maniacal. Would just murder the rat.
Smash the rat on national television. It's like,
Tebow fist bumps you on the way out.
Good job. Yeah, good work.
Yes. That is that. I now see how Coco handles things. I like it.
It's like you're in the man's space. You sit there, you just smash the rat to pieces, and you sit there and go, "Oh, I'm sorry that I got completely and totally out of control here."
It always cracks me up when you see it, and it happens everywhere. The dogs or cats running onto the field, and people think it's most of them. You can handle it. You can pick the dog up. You're okay.
Yeah.
It's when the dog's a little wild and there's a biting situation that you always see some total shenanigans.
Oh, because I legitimately cannot remember. Wow, when was the last time that there was a biting dog? I just remembered.
I've seen a few where people thought they could pick it up, and then it just got kind of wild, and there was a bite attempt. I don't know. I know somebody has been bitten by a dog on a field before, but I don't think it's been for a while.
Yeah, see, the last dog I really remember was Mark Slaybaugh's dog that got loose and ran on the field at Sanford Stadium in Athens.
That's a problem.
Yeah, Slaybaugh apparently has a house within shouting distance, and before they enclosed it and modernized it to its current iteration, his dog got out and ended up running onto the field at Sanford Stadium. Nice black lab, and literally, if you did a search of the Googles and you did Mark Slaybaugh dog or Mark Slaybaugh at Sanford Stadium, the dog story would probably come up, and you'd see the story where Slaybaugh admitted it was his dog that ran out onto the field at Sanford Stadium in Athens on a football Saturday.
Ay.
Yeah, but no. I don't know if I would have the coordination like others that would just smash the rat inside the six, But then if you're the keeper and you're hoping that the grounds crew kind of picks up the mess, so that way that it's not inside the six with you for the remainder of the match, whenever that is.
Yeah, dogs on the field in Argentina are always good.
Absolutely true. Yes,
okay, I will, before we get into picks of the week, I did want to share this, and I don't have all the information yet. I'm trying to get caught up on this as we go. I have seen it popping off tonight. So at San Lorenzo in Argentina, you have a situation, if Ole will stop giving me ads. Headline, the background to the scandal in San Lorenzo. Moretti went to the headquarters and had to leave in a patrol car. The president returned to office following a court order, was repudiated by more than 100 self-organized supporters. So Marcelo Moretti returned to the presidency. He appeared at the headquarters of the club on Monday to begin exercising that role. What happened? It ended. This is reading the translation from Ole. Mm-hmm. What happened? It ended in disaster with self-organized fans, police repression, egg throwing, and the leader having to be escorted out in a patrol car.
Egg throwing.
Wow. There was egg throwing. Fantastic. Yeah. So when he got there and fans heard about it, they began to gather around the headquarters. By 6 o'clock, more than 200 people had peacefully gathered. Only some pushing and shoving when the door opened. Some tried unsuccessfully to get in. The fans were demanding his resignation. You had lots of different stuff going on there. No other way out. The police decided to take action to get him out. Water cannons, pickup trucks, motorcycles, and infantry units appeared.
Wow.
At one point, shields in hand, they advanced against the crowd to free the door and escorted him out to a patrol car that took him to the police station for his own safety, I guess. Yeah, so things are good at San Lorenzo in Argentina right now. Really good.
Wow. That's just taken away in a patrol car for your own personal safety, we imagine.
Yep.
Wow.
Dr. Coco asked, as we're staying in Argentina for a minute, LGP is not still at River. He is at Estudiantes. And let's see, another club that he had previously played for. Let's see what he has been doing there as of late. I think he gave up a really bad goal when he first got there. He is 33 years old now. He's made 7 appearances. He scored twice in the Clausura, so that's a little surprising. 7 games out of a few. He's out right now with a muscle injury. So that's what he's been up to as of late.
How has Luis Abram been at Sporting Cristal?
Good question. Let's see.
And you can watch Sporting Cristal, by the way, on Fanatis.
Yes, you can do that. That is true. He has, in his time at Sporting Cristal, he has played 7 games and he has 1 goal. Luis Abram scoring goals. Good grief.
It was off a corner, actually. It was he had crashed the 6, and I actually watched that, and I was just as stunned at the time. It was off a corner, the far post, and Abram crashes right at the top of the 6, and he just heads it in.
Yes, Marcelino Moreno is living his best life at
Oh,
Lanús.
man.
He's had very big moments at Lanús as of late, which has been good.
Yes. It's been very, very cool to see that because he got the game-winning goal that had them advance recently in the tournament. So it was a very cool moment for him at Lanús, and it's been fun to see him do what we got to see in a very, very small sample size, but to be able to see him do that for Lanús, it's been a treat.
Man also always had the clutch gene. Always clutch goals. Usually against DC United. It's a shame we don't have him for a decision day on Saturday because he always had big goals against them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are you ready for picks of the week?
Sure. Why not? Rock and roll.
All right. Let's we need some theme music for picks of the week. We'll have to do that here at some point. We have to update our graphics and things at some point too. It's soccer over there. It's chaos. We've talked about how to get a rat off the field tonight. I mean, what do you want? What do you want from me?
Okay.
All right. We got to talk about last week. So Drew won 2 weeks ago. The overall table going into last week, we'd had 3 different winners. Drew was leading the overall table on 1437. John was next at Jarrett was next at 960. John was at 947. Nick was at 837. Sophia was at 642. Maddie was at 537, and I was the only one negative with minus 353. Not good. That rat did get extensive coverage, Coco. That is absolutely true. So last week, we started on Wednesday. It was all international matches on the board for this one. The first game we picked was Libya and Cabo Verde. I picked the draw, as did John. Everybody else picked a winner. They were incorrect. That was a stupid 3-3 draw. Really dumb. Bad own goal in the first minute from Cabo Verde. An even worse goal that the goalkeeper gives up through his legs from 50 yards for Cabo Verde to score. And then what would have been a winner that was ruled offside that wasn't offside, that I thought was offside watching it live, but it wasn't offside. But there's no VAR in African qualifiers, so it stood. And it finished 3-3, and it probably should have because it was just a very dumb game. Very, very dumb. But John and I got the draw right. Then Saudi Arabia and Indonesia. Saudi Arabia won that. Everybody but me and Maddie got that one correct. We both picked draw. Then Scotland and Greece. I picked Scotland. Maddie picked Scotland. Nobody else got it right. So a pretty good run for me right now.
Second half underway with Honduras and Haiti, by the way.
U20s, it was USA and Italy. Everybody got it right except for Drew, who picked Italy, and Jarrett picked a draw. Nick did pick against his homeland, by the way. Then it was Honduras and Costa Rica. I picked a draw because all Costa Rica does is draw. Who else picked the draw? Sophia picked the draw. Everybody else picked a winner and got it wrong. Curacao and Jamaica. This is where it turned because I trusted an axiom that was delivered to me a while back. I wish I could remember who said it, but it's somebody that I know and respect in the game of soccer who said, never trust Jamaica. So I picked Curacao. Everybody else either picked Jamaica or a draw. I got it right. That won the week for me. I did not pick Serbia. I picked Serbia to win. I didn't get that one correct. Maddie picked Albania. She was the only one who did. So she got the win there. Yeah. And then Mali and Madagascar, it ended up not mattering. Mali won. Jarrett picked that. Sorry, Jarrett picked Albania as well. Jarrett was minus 355 going into the last 2 games, and he finished at plus 435. So he got the last 2 correct. Sophia got Mali as well. But it did not turn the final results. So your final table, Nick was terrible this week, minus 555. Absolutely awful. Nick was bad. He was minus 217. John was okay, finished at plus 83. Mm-hmm. Next would be Sophia at 408. That's solid. Yeah. Jarrett, 435. That's very good. Maddie at 613. That's awesome. And I finished at 948, so I'm back in the positive on the overall table, and I win for the first time in the new Picks of the week.
You gonna cut your promo?
No, I'm not gonna cut a promo. I always cut the anti-promo. I don't need to cut a promo. I let everybody get some wins. What am I supposed to do? I'm trying to make people feel good about themselves. I'm trying to let people get into the competition. Don't want to dominate it. You don't want this to be like Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. You want people to feel like they have a chance. Kefsey did 13:08. That's really good from Kefsey. I was in that ballpark. I was at 11:48 after the Curacao win, and then Serbia let me down and Madagascar let me down. Very disappointed with those two. But Curacao was the one that turned it for me.
Never root for Disney movies. They're not going to help you.
Never root for Disney movies.
Wasn't Madagascar a Disney movie?
I am mad about the hissing cockroaches. I'm not worried about the Disney movie. It's the hissing cockroaches for me.
Yes.
What would you do if hissing cockroaches invaded the field, John?
Run the other way.
Fair enough. And it might have been DreamWorks.
Yeah, thank you, Coco. But yeah, just no hissing cockroaches. That's like sell your house and leave the neighborhood. That's what that is.
All right. I picked the whole bracket this time around.
Yes, you did.
We have some great returns on the board. We have some new faces on the board. We get to learn a little bit in this one as well. We've got a near top of the table clash. We've got a playoff battle in MLS. We've got a relegation battle. We've got some Champions League. We've got some Central America. We've got a big World Cup qualifier, and we go to Africa as well. So this is going to be a fun ride. Yes, Dr. Coco wants to kill the hissing cockroaches. Soccer for Good OG wants to break out the insecticides.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I don't know if they would let the insecticides, if you were a ticket purchasing individual.
Well, you're not. You're working. Remember, you're working. You're red hatting, and you're getting invaded by hissing cockroaches.
And you'd have to really know where the insecticides are on a quick turn, and that's not necessarily.
Yeah, I would hope that I don't know where they are on a quick turn, because if I do, it's probably happened before.
Yes. Although I will say this, I will admit that there have been insecticides on the red hat side at the fraction that it wasn't. Well, what's when you're trying to like raid, that's technically an insecticide, right?
I think that would qualify.
Yeah, because there have been like hornets and things over by the the red hat by the middle table.
That's not good.
And yeah, so there have been like raid cans inside the benches to use to keep the yellow jackets on the hornets away.
That's really not good.
I have had to use that in the past.
That's very bad. I want no part of red hatting then, if that's part of the duties that are involved in red hatting. I don't want to have to spray raid at hornets.
Nope. And OG, I'm right there with you. Professionals that are there to handle it. That would be my first phone call.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I am going to need you, John, to track the picks I make and you make.
Okay.
Because I'm going to go through the board. I have Maddie's picks in. I have Jarrett's picks in. And I have Drew's picks in. Drew's picks are in a different place. Let me see if I can pull this up. There I got them over here. I have too many places where people can send me stuff.
Yes.
It's complicated. It's very complicated, I tell you. Okay, there we go. Oh, we have a really weird prop bet as well, which I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. We'll get there in a minute. All right. I haven't made my picks. I picked the board, but I haven't made my picks. I make my picks now as we go.
Yep.
Tuesday on the board, it is the Asian World Cup qualifier between Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. The numbers that were set as of the board being locked yesterday: Qatar plus 130, the draw plus 240, UAE plus 210. Now, here's the deal. UAE only need a draw to qualify. Qatar must win. A UAE 1-0 win or multiple goal win would eliminate Qatar from the November playoff in Asia and send Oman through to that. So that adds to the drama. UAE defeated Qatar twice in late 2024 in World Cup qualifying. They won 5-0 at home, and they won 3-1 at Qatar late last year. The last loss for the UAE was in March in Iran. They have 4 wins, 2 draws, and that 1 loss in 2025. Qatar in 2025, 2 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses, but they do have home field advantage here. Carlos Queiroz will be trying to throw rats on the field to affect Qatar in this game, as he is sitting very angry at Qatar for firing him last December, also trying to get his Oman squad into the playoff. So you could have flying rats on the field, or who knows what else Carlos Queiroz might throw in the field. There's no telling.
Probably rented them.
He's renting. You have to return the rats, John.
Well, he's not going to return them. It's like, yeah, I'll bring him back, and then he doesn't.
He's renting the rats to throw on the field.
Well,
how about buying them?
Well, maybe, sure. I mean, but if it costs more to buy them, then give me like if you're Carlos Queiroz, it's like, look, just give me the rat. I'll rent it and I'll bring it back. I swear.
He'll rent it. He's renting the rat.
Uh-oh.
You can't say no. You can't. No, I don't care what Honduras is doing right now. You can't change it from renting a rat.
No, it's rent a rat. You've never heard of that in
I've never heard of rent a rat.
Middle East and North Africa. It's a franchise.
No, I've never heard of any of this.
Yeah, rent a rat. It is available. It's right next to Hi-Fi Buys and Peaches Records and Tapes.
No, it's not near any of those things. Okay. Jeez. Drew picked the UAE to win. So we have that one on the board. We have a pick of Jarrett going UAE. We have a pick of Maddie going UAE. What are you going with, John?
UAE.
You're going with the UAE.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you counter that? Did I try just to get a number on the board, or do you?
No. I pick what I think is going to happen. I don't play stupid games like that. That's why I usually win quite often.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much since we restarted, but I have won last week. Have you won so far?
No, I have not.
Exactly. So, no, I'm not picking something to counter other people's picks. I give the people my prediction. I give the people my opinion on what's going to happen. I am contemplating what I think is going to happen. And I think this is going to be a little bit tighter because there's a lot on the line here. UAE's been the better team. But I think it's a draw. Because I think they have to come back to get the draw, but I think they get the draw and they go through.
Okay, that's why I thought that I was torn. Do I lead off with a draw or do I go with UAE? But I figured I'd go with UAE.
See, I actually go with what I think is going to happen. I'm not thinking, do I pick draw? Do I do No. Come on. All right, Wednesday. A returning favorite. Back to the picks of the week board.
Mm-hmm.
The Kakamega Homeboys. We're going to Kenya, the Premier League in Kenya. The Homeboys are hosting Bidco United. There are no odds on this. I think their nickname, they actually go by the K Homeboys. So the K Homeboys plus 100, the draws plus 125, Bidco United plus 150. Early stages of the Premier League season in Kenya. Bidco are 5th place, 2 wins out of 2. The K Homeboys are in 13th at 1-1-1. Now, the K Homeboys have dominated the series over the last 10, 5 wins, 5 draws. The Kakamega Homeboys crest is the best ever, no question about it. Nobody can top it. It is by far the best crest of all time.
Can you show the folks?
I believe I can. I am going to attempt to. I'm going to try to find a good sized logo to share with you because it must be shared. It's not the biggest, but it's going to work. Let's save that. Let's get that over here. Let's bring that.
I'm with you. Maybe in like an indoor soccer team in Houston, you call them the Homeboys or something like that from back in the 90s.
I'm actually surprised that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It has not, as far as I am aware.
Oh.
Injustice. Behold the greatness of the Kakamega Homeboys. Those are ears of corn.
That's fantastic.
They're not. It's not like clip art corn.
Mm-mm.
It's corn on the side of the crest.
Yeah.
The ball is very weird, and I don't think it's fully round.
It looks like it's punctured, or it's like on the the hole that you would put the
I don't know. There's a rock.
The air plug in.
Maybe there's a rock. The ball's lopsided.
Yeah,
the corn. The logo's clip art, but then they just threw the corn on just because. I mean, that is amazing right there.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely fantastic.
The Kakamega Homeboys are the greats of the Crest game. Corn.
I mean, seriously, like Iowa. If Iowa had an indoor soccer team in the 90s, they would have corn as a part of their logo.
Yes. There are multiple teams called the Homeboys.
Okay.
We learned this not too long ago. There is a smaller club in Kenya called the Chimondi Homeboys. There is the Kigezi Homeboys. Which country are they based out of? I'm trying to remember. They're in Uganda. There are quite a few. Well, are there any more? Or all of them? That might be all of them. So that's not quite a few. That's 3. We didn't have any Homeboys in American soccer at some point. We did have the Columbus Zogs.
Yes. XOGGZ?
Yeah, it was weird X's and Z's. I think that's right. It was dumb.
I mean, that was just fantastic indoor soccerness at its best with the XOGGZ.
That was actually outdoor soccer. It wasn't
outdoor?
Yeah, it was US ISL at the time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. The Kakamega Homeboys are old friends of. Oh, what does that say at the bottom?
What's like the motto in the logo?
See. Hold on. Let's go back to the Kakamega Homeboys logo. Abana Bingo.
Okay.
No, Kakamega Homeboys. Hutch. They have the Z as well, so they both go with the Z. I mean, if you're going to go full Homeboys, you have to go with the Z. You just have to. What does the motto mean? That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. To continue reading, please subscribe for full access. No.
Maybe it's not a motto. Now I'm intrigued. So, because this is what we do on soccer over there, and this is what happens, and things get weird, we have to figure these things out. Abana Bingo. Is that maybe a location? Abana. Let me make sure I'm spelling this right. Let's see. I don't know. Hold on.
Because there's an article by Victor Otieno from Nation.Africa, but you have to subscribe to it.
The team seems to just be known as that.
Okay.
So it's kind of a nickname as well.
Huh.
Because I'm seeing things like the Abana Abango made a bold move, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
I don't know what that means. Oh, man. I'm very intrigued because these are very important things when we talk about the Kakamega Homeboys. I do not know. We will try to figure that out for next time. That's a really good question. Soccer for Good OG, you are thinking the Aztecs, the Austin Aztecs that became Orlando City. And then there was a reanimated version of the Austin Aztecs later. They were the zombie Aztecs. And they had an X. Am I correct in that?
I thought so.
Yes, it was AZTEX because, why not?
Yes.
And there were 2 versions of them. So they were pro, they were in USL First Division. That's the one that moved to Orlando and became Orlando City, and yes, is related to the current Orlando City in some form or fashion. Not really on paper, but in the hearts of some people, yes. Then the second Austin Aztecs were PDL. I don't think they ever went pro. Nope. And then they were not the Austin Bold. That was a whole separate thing. So yes, the Austin Aztecs. They did AZTEX. So as and then Tex, because they're in Texas and they thought that was clever.
Yes. I'm still trying to find the Abana Abango translation.
I don't know. We're just going to have to leave it because we have to get back into the picks of the week because we got games to pick. So the Homeboys finished 3rd in the league last season. Bidco United finished 15th. Our picks so far have been reported. Maddie picked the Kakamega Homeboys. Jarrett picked the Kakamega Homeboys. Drew picked the Kakamega Homeboys. I am picking the Kakamega Homeboys. John
is picking the Kakamega Homeboys.
Okay. We'll see if Nick or Sophia go in a different direction there. All right. Then Wednesday night, we're going to Honduras. It is a massive match. And yes, other leagues do play during international breaks because they will not have their players back yet. Marathon and Real España. No odds on this one. So Marathon at home plus 100, the draw plus 125, Real España plus 150. Marathon has won 7 of the last 10 meetings. The other 3, Real España won. No draws in their last 10. Last time they played was in August. Real España won that. Marathon's in second place in the Apertura, 4 points behind Olimpia. Real España is 5 points behind Marathon in fourth. Marathon, El Monstruo Verde, the green monster.
Mm-hmm.
Former club of Centennial High School legend, former Atlanta Silverbacks, former Puerto Rico Islanders. He's played everywhere at various stages. Junior Sandoval played for Marathon. I think he played against the Seattle Sounders with Marathon, if I'm not mistaken, in CONCACAF. Marathon is also celebrating their 100th birthday next month. Not too far away. Very, very cool to see. Now, Real España, they have about 57 different nicknames. The one I liked the best was Los Carboneros, the coal men. They wear yellow and black. I think they're mostly going by La Máquina now. They've had different crests. I also learned that they've had many different mascots. This is a wild run of mascots. Real España, the yellow and black, they have had a yellow and black owl as a mascot. They've had a train as a mascot. And most recently, a robot. How do you go from owl to train to robot?
I have no idea.
Like, how? How do you sit there and say, oh, we have an owl as a mascot. Let's go to a train now.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the train with the coal, and I get that. But why'd you have the owl in the first place?
Well, I mean,
It's not a canary in a coal mine.
I was going to say, were owls beneficial to helping miners the same way that canaries were?
Are you going to trust an owl? I'm not.
Not, owls.
Have you seen an owl? Like, close?
Yeah.
I'm not trusting that thing.
270-degree spin on the head.
I'm not trusting it. No. I don't want any part of that. So, no, it's not going to help me if I'm a coal miner. But then how do you go to a robot?
Some marketing guy probably goes in. It's like, yeah, let's get so and so's marketing guy in here, and he's probably like some new age dude, or he doesn't wear. He's got a button down shirt.
Are robots new age? Really?
Look, it's like you got to be. Look, full disclosure. I was in when I was in TV news. We had I worked at a station that had like 98 different rebrands.
But did one of them have a new age person promoting a robot?
I had a new age person. And she was not promoting a robot.
Okay.
We had branding was consistent. It was red and black or red, white, and blue. And you're like, okay, this, that you're here in Atlanta and you're CBS. So it's either red, white, and blue or red and black because of UGA colors. Sure. We had and I think the statute of limitations is gone on this, so I can say this.
Okay.
So the marketing person at the time decided, the head of creative at the station at the time decided to sit there and change the color scheme entirely in the state of Georgia to red and black, from red and black to yellow and green.
Okay.
In the state of Georgia.
Were they Norwich fans?
No.
Okay, just checking. Did you actually say that millennials are new age people?
No.
Okay, I thought you might have said that. And I missed it because I was just thrown off by a new age person recommending a robot.
No. It's just
Coco's slandering you, which is highly entertaining.
That's perfectly fine. Or
slandering new age people or millennials or all of the above.
Yeah. So the individual that was a head of creative at the time changed the color scheme from red and black to yellow and green.
No robots though.
No robots.
Okay, fair enough.
But the mic flag that we had, when you've got a mic flag like we have at SDH, the mic flag has some kind of identification one way or the other. and you have a mic flag that traditionally had the colors and the identification of the station.
We go with the branded windscreen and SDH Universe.
So
that's what the new age millennials are doing.
New age millennials go with a branded windscreen.
We go with branded windscreens.
The mic, traditionally your logo takes up the entire mic flag, and it has the station number and logos and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The person from Creative decided not to use the entire surface of the mic flag. And so you had except for the edges, you had most of the stuff in the middle was yellow with the new name. And then you had a green dot outside of the yellow section in the middle 2/3 in the upper corner of one of the white sections down the edges. And everybody was like, well, why did you do that? Because we think outside the box. That was the person that Real España brought in to sit there and go, yeah, let's go robot. And they bought it.
That was a insanely wild story to kind of make a point.
Yeah, that's the kind of individual that I'm sure that Real España brought in to go from train to robot, was the same kind of person that we had in Creative to go from red and black to yellow and green with a green dot outside the yellow casing.
Oh my goodness, that just happened. I don't think Real España is still using the robot because I've not seen it in any of its branding. They probably are going to come up with something else. They do get to use Real because somewhere along the line, a royal status was granted to them by the King of Spain. Or I think some clubs get to use it because Real Salt Lake, if I remember right, there was some shenanigans with that because of Real Madrid. And that's how they were able to link it in some form or fashion. So this is from the Real España Wikipedia. I know it's Wikipedia. Just roll with it.
Yeah.
We don't have a set of encyclopedias to use for this, so we have to go with Wikipedia, and then
we don't have SDHpedia yet.
We don't. The crown symbolizes the royal status granted to the club by the King of Spain. This is noticeable in other clubs such as Real Madrid, Real Sociedad, Real Betis, Real Murcia, Real Valladolid, and Real Zaragoza. They left Real Salt Lake out of that. In Real Salt Lake's Wikipedia, the Spanish title, Real, meaning royal in English, has been used since the early 20th century by Spanish soccer clubs who have received royal patronage from a reigning monarch, most notably Madrid, Zaragoza, Betis, and Sociedad. In choosing the name Real for the Salt Lake-based team, initial owner Dave Checketts intended to create a brand name that would become well known for its simplicity, followed the European-style naming conventions in the league, and would potentially foster a relationship with or partnership with Real Madrid. He also owned the Utah Jazz at the time, and Real Madrid has had very good basketball. I think they did play a friendly against Real Madrid, if I remember right. I think they had somebody from Real Madrid there when they were breaking ground on their stadium. It was a very loose affiliation.
It's a loose affiliation, yeah.
Yes. I don't think they got the royal patronage or the royal status from the reigning King of Spain. I don't think they were able to pull that off.
Kind of round it off a little bit.
Maybe. Real España might have done that. They might not. They've also had an owl, a train, and a robot as a mascot. So there's no telling what this club is doing. Very close in the table. This is a very close kind of matchup. Both teams are probably going to be missing some players because it is a day or 2 days after Honduras plays. It is on Fox Deportes, so you'll be able to watch this on Wednesday night. And these matches are amazing. Actually, Dr. Coco, you are incorrect because he said they're as partnered with Real Madrid as Atlanta is with Aberdeen still. Atlanta, or Arthur Blank and AMBSE, I think is the best way to say it, actually owns part of Aberdeen. And there is a person on the board. So there is a real relationship. I just don't know what they're actually doing at this point. But there is a financial stake there. Real Salt Lake and Real Madrid, definitely no financial stake. And Dave Checketts is long gone. And Salt Lake's been through 2 ownership groups since then.
Yeah, Delroy Hansen and then the new one.
Yeah. So lots of things. Maybe they'll try to partner with somebody else down the road. So we need to make picks on this one. Drew picked a draw. Jarrett picked a draw. Maddie picked marathon. John, what are you picking?
Marathon.
You're picking marathon. I am also going to pick marathon. They're at home. I'm going with the home team in this one.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Thursday. Atletico Madrid and Manchester United in the UEFA Women's Champions League. We have numbers on this one, and it's very even. Atleti plus 150, draw plus 240, Man United 180 plus 180. They've never played one another, at least in a competitive match. This is Manchester United's first time in the league phase of the Champions League. Atleti lost 6-0 to Barcelona over the weekend. Everybody loses to Barcelona by big scores, except for Arsenal in the Champions League final last year. Atleti in the Champions League last time out on the road, 6-0 win over St. Polten. Manchester United, they beat Everton in the Women's Super League over the weekend. They are undefeated in their last 7, and that last loss they had was in Norway at Brann in the qualifying rounds of the Champions League, the first leg, where their boots did not make it with them. They had to go to a soccer shop in Norway and buy a whole bunch of boots. I think they spent thousands of dollars on boots.
Yeah, I think I remember the guy who owned the store being interviewed about it.
He was very happy because he made a lot of money.
Yeah, man. You should be. Random team comes wandering in. You sit there and go, "Oh, you look like," and then yeah, we are.
No, they did not know what the Manchester United women's team looked like, John. No offense to the Manchester United women's team, but they were not expecting them to walk in the door, and they did not walk in the door. I think somebody went in with shoe sizes.
Substitution for Honduras, 15 to go, still 3-0 in front of a packed house. So Haiti has some work to do, and it's not looking good.
All right, Thursday picks. Drew went with a draw.
How did Drew not pick Manchester United?
He did not. Maddie picked a draw. Jarrett picks Atleti. He said Madrid, which would very much upset Atleti fans.
Boy. Oh, boy.
That's not how that goes, Jarrett. You're going to have to be careful with that. I'm going to turn you into Real Madrid people because they're going to be very upset at Atleti.
The Real Madrid police.
Elena Diaz, who played for Georgia State, played for Atleti in the academy days before she came to Atlanta to play in college. First to Daytona, then to Atlanta in college. She would kick Jarrett in the face.
Woo.
She might just do it anyway because she was kind of feisty. But yes, that would be ugly. John, what are you picking?
Atleti.
I am picking. What am I picking? That was actually a really tough one because Manchester United is unproven at this level. They are playing very well. They have a great goalkeeper right now who could be playing for the U.S. women's national team on a regular basis. I'm going to go with Manchester United on the road. Yep, that's what I'm picking.
All
right. Friday, we go to Africa Champions League qualifying.
Friday.
You missed it. You don't get to do that anymore. You missed it. Champions League qualifying. I thought we were into the group stage. We're not. There's actually another qualifying round in the CAF Champions League. So we have the Remo Stars hosting the Mamelodi Sundowns in the first leg of 2. No odds. So the Remo Stars are plus 100. The draw is plus 125. The Sundowns are plus 150. They've never played before that I can tell. The Remo Stars are in 12th place through 7 games in the Nigeria Premier League. 3 wins, 3 losses in their last 6 games in all competitions. They're nicknamed the Sky Blue Stars. They wear sky blue. They were founded in 2004. They won the title in Nigeria last season. They're the first club from the southwest of Nigeria to win the league since the year 2000. They are trying to qualify for the first time ever into the main stage of the Champions League. The Mamelodi Sundowns, and I did not know this during the Club World Cup, and I wish I had, one of their nicknames is Bafana Style, the stylish guys. That's amazing. The stylish guys. They were founded in 1970. They've won 18 league titles. They've become the powerhouse in South Africa. 1 Champions League title in their history, 2016. They were runners-up last year. They played in the Club World Cup. They were very entertaining to watch.
Yes, they were. That
they were a
match
lot
at
of fun.
TQL, oh my God.
Yeah, that was a fun team to watch. They are leading the South African Premiership through 10 games so far. They lost their last match in the League Cup in a penalty shootout, but they won 4 of their last 6 before that. They're on the road to Nigeria in this one against the Remo Stars. Drew picked the Sundowns. Jarrett picked the stylish guys, the Sundowns.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie picked Remo Stars. John, what are you picking?
Draw.
I'm also picking a draw. I think the Sundowns might have a challenge going into the southwest of Nigeria.
Yes.
So I am going with that. Let's go to Saturday, a relegation battle in Serie A. Now, remember, the rules that I set for this, you have to have 3 games from either European competition or from top 5 European leagues. I didn't say they had to be good games from those leagues. So I made the rules. I got to pick the board. This fits my rules.
Yeah.
It's in Serie A. It is Pisa hosting Hellas Verona, both in the relegation zone in Serie A. Pretty even here on the odds. Pisa plus 145, draw plus 210, Hellas Verona plus 200. Neither team has won this season at all. They're both in the relegation zone. One's in 18th, one's in 20th. They last played in 2017 in the second division. It was a 1-1 draw. Pisa, they won promotion from the second division last year. They finished second. They are known, it's Pisa. They're known as I Torri, the towers. I get it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They were founded kind of in 1909. They were refounded in 1994 because they went broke. They were originally founded as Pisa Sporting Club. They were refounded as Pisa Calcio. They were registered in the regional leagues as an amateur team after a partial liquidation of the first club because of economic troubles. They were again kicked out of Italian football in 2009 because they didn't bring in enough money to service their debt. They were refounded as AC Pisa 1909 in the summer of 2009. This is their first season in Serie A in 34 years. Again, they've been through multiple names and legal documentation and all these things. In Italy, when you go bust, you get booted all the way down to the amateurs and you become like a phoenix club, essentially. You rise from the ashes. And what generally happens, like Napoli did this, you have to start as a different name, and then when you get back to a certain level, then they'll let you reclaim the original name. And it's not the same club, but it is the same club. It's like the Austin Aztecs situation, kind of, where it's not the same club, but it is kind of the same club. So Pisa, this is their first year in the top flight in 34 years. Their manager is a World Cup winner, Alberto Gilardino. In January of this year, Hellas Verona, they were acquired by American private equity Presidio Investors. I do not know Presidio Investors. They have also went through liquidation and folding in the past. They were reborn in 1991. They actually were 2 different clubs, Hellas and Verona, and they merged like back in the 20s. And then they were together for a long time and were really competitive for a while. Then they fell on hard times. They went broke. They came back. They've yo-yoed between the top 2 divisions for most of the 2000s before becoming a solid top flight team in 2019, but they're challenging that right now because they might get relegated. They are known as I Mastini, the Mastiffs, which if you've seen their crest, makes a lot of sense. Their crest is actually pretty cool, and I had not really realized that they were Mastiffs on the crest. I will try to get that for you because that's what we do on the show.
Presidio Investors portfolio, by the way.
Yes. Who are they? Where are they?
Hellas Verona, they invested them in 2025. It's their most recent investment.
Okay.
They also have an investment in the Only Agency, a top agency for fashion stylists, makeup artists, hairstylists, and other creatives.
Okay.
Almaden Global, a leading provider of marketing supply chain services. Resolve Tech Solutions, a leader in the IT services industry specializing in SAP solutions. Centennial Media, Bravas Home Experience Designs, Podium Audio, Golden Hair. Do what?
What is all this stuff?
This is the other companies that Presidio Investors is.
Are there any of them that we should know or would know?
Hat Trick Sports Group, perhaps.
I don't remember who they are.
Metropolitan Bank, but the short answer is I don't recognize any of them.
So a bunch of stuff. They got a bunch of stuff,
Bunch of
including
different
Hellas
things.
Verona.
Yes. So here's how they present themselves.
Okay.
Partnering with exceptional teams to create value in niche industries. Presidio Investors is a leading middle market private equity firm that partners with growing niche businesses in the business services and entertainment sectors. The Presidio team has significant investing and operating experience, and they employ a collaborative approach to help grow and develop businesses to produce excellent returns for all stakeholders.
Did your new age millennial come up with that?
Probably. They probably hired the same marketing firm to come up with that word salad. Yes.
Fair enough. Just checking. Here is the Hellas Verona crest. That is awesome. It's not as awesome as the Kakamega Homeboys, but that's pretty cool.
Yes.
It's modern, but it works.
Yep.
It fits with I Mastini.
Mhm.
I like it. Good
Yep.
job, Hellas Verona.
Presidio Investors is based in Austin, Texas, by the way.
Okay. Maybe they own the Austin Aztecs at some point.
That could be.
It's very possible. So 2 bad teams playing one another in Serie A.
Yep.
On Saturday morning.
Yep.
It's going to be a dogfight, literally,
yes.
because you have the Mastiffs involved.
Yes.
Let's see what picks we have. Drew went with Pisa. Maddie went with Pisa. Jarrett went with Pisa and said it felt like the Italian Kennesaw, except with a tower that's leaning.
Yes.
John, what are you picking?
A completely and totally flailing 90-minute draw.
You're picking a draw. I am picking Hellas Verona. I'm picking the Mastiffs
because of the Hellas, because of the Mastiffs and the.
No, I just think Pisa is like really bad, and I think Hellas Verona is. Bad.
Yeah, I think they're both equally bad. That's why I was thinking draw. 85th minute sub, still 3-0.
Yeah, I wish I could say that I actually did plan the dogfight comment. I did not. It just happened. It might have been slightly in bad taste. I'm not sure, but I didn't mean it that way. Saturday night, Portland Timbers, San Diego FC. This is a big one in MLS in the Western Conference. The Timbers are plus 165, the draw plus 260, San Diego, the road favorite at plus 140. The Timbers have been bums lately. They haven't won since September 13th. They're 7th in the West. They're trying to avoid the wild card round. San Diego are 2nd. They have a chance to win the conference. They played in August. It was a scoreless draw. Timbers have been bums. San Diego, I mean, not bums, but 2-2-2 over their last 6. Not great. This could go a million different directions. It's decision day, so things will get weird because it just has to. Let's see what everybody picked. Portland for Drew. Let's get to a different window. Jarrett went with Portland. Maddie went with a draw. John, what are you picking?
Oh, boy. I'm going to go San Diego. I think they right the ship in this one. I think that because they need, with the chaos that is going on in the Western Conference, they need to try and keep the beat as much as possible with Vancouver, hope that Vancouver loses and make up a massive goal difference. So San Diego, I think, is just trying to keep the 2 at this point because they can't catch Vancouver. They can, but then you lose.
They can, but they're going to need some help. Vancouver has Dallas at home.
Yeah. So I think San Diego. That's why I think San Diego gets the win here. I think they're going to try and put the pedal down to try to get full points and see what happens, and then figure it out themselves. They're going to take care of their own business.
Yeah, because they are 3 points back. So if Vancouver gets a result, they win the West. San Diego is going to try to win to put the pressure on them. I think Portland is going to be equally desperate because Dallas, the team that is chasing, is the one at Vancouver.
Yep.
So you're going to have scoreboard watching between both of these games for multiple reasons. I think it finishes as a draw because I think San Diego has run out of gas. I think Dreyer's going to be coming back from international duty. That's going to hurt them in some ways. I think Portland is going to be desperate at home. They'll be good enough. They'll get a draw, and it will finish as a wild 2-2 draw.
Okay. All right.
Sunday, the big game on the board this weekend. And it's kind of an interesting one in the way you try to figure out where you're going to go here. I didn't think it would be a couple weeks ago. Liverpool hosting Manchester United. Liverpool minus 167. The draw plus 333. Manchester United plus 375. Liverpool are second in the league. They're trying to defend their title. Manchester United 5 points back in 10th. I think with all the talk about everything being a complete and utter dumpster fire, they're 5 points back of Liverpool. They're in 10th. It's not good, but maybe it's not quite as bad as some have led you to believe. 2 draws out of the last 3 meetings between these two. Again, maybe not quite as bad as people would lead you to believe. Liverpool won the other one. It was a 2-2 draw back at Anfield in January. Liverpool had a bunch of good luck to start the season. What was it, like 5 straight that they won in the last 10 minutes of the game or in stoppage time?
Yeah, pulling academy kids in for their first touches and goals. Yeah, it was out of control.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I remember saying multiple times, this is not sustainable. Well, it's not. They've lost 3 in a row in all competitions. Manchester United have won 3 of their last 5, but it's been win-loss, 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 win-loss. Ruben Amorim does not have back-to-back wins. He's been there a while. If they beat Liverpool, that would be back-to-back wins. They won the last game. So, all kinds of intrigue on this one. Drew, the Manchester United fan, he picks a draw.
Wow.
I don't
Second time he went against the Manchester United.
No, he picked a draw. Are you seriously going to say that's going against Manchester United when they're on the road in Liverpool?
Not picking a win? Is that not going
Are you seriously saying that they are supposed to go in there and win? I think picking a draw is actually optimistic.
All right.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that Drew, being the Manchester United fan, was going to blindly sit there and just pick a win.
Did you think Nick was going to be blind and pick Italy to beat the U.S. last week?
Well, we know Nick's MO.
Have you heard Drew talk about Manchester United?
Oh, yeah. And for those, I believe the 3D is officially coming back soon, so we'll have those opinions as well.
Yes, he's not blindly following his club. Maddie picked Liverpool. Jarrett picked Manchester United to win.
Wow.
Starting the Ruben Amorim train. Jarrett Smith. John, what are you picking?
7 minutes added. Honduras and Haiti still 3-0. I'm going Liverpool.
I'm also going Liverpool. I do think they will get right this week. I think Manchester United will be okay, but it will be a 2-1 Liverpool win is what I'm thinking. Okay, now your prop bet. This is chaos. You have 16 games in the first legs of the final qualifying round of the CAF Champions League in Africa this weekend. 16 games scheduled. Scheduled is the key word here.
Mm-hmm.
If you are within 5 goals in picking a number of goals scored in the total games, the total number of games, if you're within 5, you will get 100. Right now on the board. Now, this actually could have changed since I sent this out. Let me double check. Right now, 14 games had a day and a time. There's 16 that are supposed to be played.
Yeah.
So, yes. I don't know where the other 2 are going to get played. They are listed as postponed. There's no telling what happens with them. I don't think they're going to get played. One is Al Ahly Tripoli hosting. The other is Ethiopian Medine hosting Pyramids, who are your defending champions. Both are listed as postponed on SofaScore. They're listed as just a range of possible dates on Wikipedia. So you're picking a number of games that you don't know how many games are going to get played. Mm-hmm. You're picking how many goals are going to get scored in a whole bunch of games. Give me a number. Drew said 33. Jarrett said 40. Maddie said 10. I don't know if she understood the assignment.
I don't think she did.
Either that or she thinks there's a whole lot of defense happening in the first legs of these games.
No.
I'm going to go with no there. John, what number are you throwing out?
52.
52 goals in 14, maybe 16 games?
Yeah. So it's an average of 2-1, 2-2, somewhere in there. 3.5 goals per.
I'm trying to do math in my head. I don't think you mathed correctly, but maybe you did. I don't trust your math at any point.
14 into 52 is 3 2/3, basically.
Okay. Yes, John is still discombobulated from the Auburn-Georgia game. That is accurate, Will.
Jeez, the boss is more discombobulated than I am.
I'm just here. It's all good.
Well, yeah,
It's fine.
you get the win.
Everything's fine.
Moving on to Ole Miss.
Yes, Will. I think this is accurate. Maddie did not read the +/-5 and just played Price is Right rules.
Oh, yeah, really.
I am gonna go with 39 as my number.
All right.
There is no basis for anything and thought or any of that. It's just the first number that popped in my head.
Halfway through the 7 added, still 3-0. Honduras.
So Honduras is going to do that. Costa Rica is really going to have to win. We'll see if they can actually win or if they draw again, because they're really good at doing that. That is your picks of the week, ladies and gentlemen. We will reconvene next Monday and see who wins. We've had 4 different winners in 4 weeks since the return. John is not one of those. Just
not anticipating it, but go ahead. Yeah.
No. No. John, that doesn't make any sense in any language. I said you are not one of the 4 winners who have already happened.
Correct. And I'm not anticipating winning anytime soon. That was my point.
But that's not what you said. And it's normally what you say as opposed to the point you might have been trying to make but didn't. I'm confused. You are still discombobulated.
Welcome to Monday.
Jeez. English. Or another language. Just finish a thought. Let's try that.
Nah.
We have to check in on a few of our old friends in terms of possible news. Let's check in with Mauro Icardi and see what could be happening with old Mauro. There is a report out of Italy that Torino president Urbano Cairo has reportedly sounded out an audacious move for former Inter captain Mauro Icardi. According to La Stampa, which I believe is a very messy tabloid in Italy. I think. I might be wrong, but I think they are a very messy tabloid. Torino are interested in signing him on a free transfer in January. He is out of contract at the end of the season. No new contract with Galatasaray yet. Anything else? Summer move, probably more likely. They might try to get him in January. He earns around 6 million euro per season in Istanbul.
Oh, wow.
And Torino would not pay anything near that. Also, there is another club that wants our good friend Mauro Icardi. The new Saudi club, Neom.
Mm-hmm.
They want Mauro Icardi. They are reportedly ready to offer Mauro Icardi a 2-year contract worth 10 million euro per year.
Oh, wow.
During the summer, they tried to get him. They were trying to get multiple people. They are coming back to Galatasaray from Mauro Icardi. They tried to get Barış Alper Yilmaz from Galatasaray. They didn't get that done. So now they're going after Icardi. They would offer him 2 years, annual salary of 10 million euro. The report noted that Icardi is likely to consider this offer positively.
Yes.
Yes, I can absolutely say that he would.
Yep. 6 million. Yeah, 6 million for the record is just under $7 million US in the exchange rate currently.
It's a lot in any currency.
Yeah,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is it. I believe, Coco, are those what you saw, or did you see something else? Let me see. What did I do?
You won the week.
Yeah, I won, Will. I'm the winner. Yes. I'm back.
Yep. We have a shenanigan. We have separating of players. We're heading toward the end of the 7th minute. And it looks like Haiti wants to throw the ball in, and Honduras has taken exception to it. And a yellow card for you, sir.
The reign of terror does resume. It's true, Will.
It is true. But yes, we are north of 97 minutes. Haiti has thrown the ball in. They are down by 3. Kervin Arriaga just got a yellow for dissent. And now Haiti is kicking the ball around, trying to get 3 goals in plus 15 seconds. And it's not going to happen. So Honduras wins.
The Falcons are winning late, so that's pretty good. Neom, that's true. Very good. I like it. I think that's all on Mauro Icardi. I don't see anything else in the last 24 hours. Oh, no, wait a minute. I got another one. Let's go to soyfootball.com. International bombshell. Mauro Icardi to Club America.
Oh, no.
Meeting between Club America's management and the Argentine striker revealed.
Wow.
I believe soyfutbol.com is not a messy tabloid, but they are not always trustworthy.
Yeah.
It's maybe fair to say. They like to deal in the rumor. And this is translated from Spanish. The America Eagles, Las Águilas.
Yes.
They are planning for the next tournament. Their management is on the hunt for a world-class reinforcement to solve their attacking woes. Turkish journalist Ben Varkin dropped a bombshell that shook the blue and yellow world.
Yes.
Argentine striker Mauro Icardi is on the club's radar. They met in Spain. Turkish journalist Ben Varkin said that Club America management reportedly met with Mauro Icardi in Spain to understand his demands. No confirmed formal offer yet, but they are evaluating the feasibility of signing Mauro Icardi. If it materializes in the coming months, Mauro Icardi signing would become one of the most significant and media-covered moves in recent Liga MX history.
Yeah.
Would it? Really?
Just for the sheer, I mean, not for like the player on the.
You got Sergio Ramos there doing like pop albums.
And then you got Anthony Martial and everything.
You got Alan St. Maximin.
Mm-hmm.
You've had Gignac.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that's true. That would be really interesting.
Yeah.
And that is all the latest on. Oh, wait a minute. No, maybe one other one.
Costa Rica, Nicaragua underway at the Estadio Nacional in San Jose, Costa Rica, which I have actually driven past in the past. So I know exactly where that stadium is.
I'm wearing a very old Herediano jersey tonight.
That is strong.
1993, I believe. Fanta is the sponsor.
Yes.
Yeah, Fanta. Yes, I have a new faux back supplier that I have found that I'm very happy with. Finding some ridiculous faux backs.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, Mauro Icardi, the other thing was Torino. So it's Torino, it's Neom, and it's Club America as the possibilities for Mauro Icardi.
There you go.
But Mauro, yes, in this hemisphere, that would be amazing. Mauro Icardi and CONCACAF.
Oh, my God.
It needs to happen. Mauro Icardi going to like Minnesota or something. And
could you imagine Leagues Cup with Mauro Icardi?
Yeah, well, I don't think we're having Leagues Cup next year. It'd be CONCACAF. That would be, because I think Club America is almost always in it, so I would assume they're in it. Yeah. Mauro Icardi could cause some serious problems in like Cincinnati. Mauro Icardi at Skyline would be a mess of epic proportions.
Great.
And you might want to hide the staff at Skyline as well. Mauro Icardi is, yes.
Yes.
He's a messy individual in lots of different ways.
Yes.
Just saying. Yes. Let's take a look at what Nicholas Bentner has been up to, if anything.
If anything.
Because he's been kind of quiet lately. I've been a little disappointed in Lord Bentner.
Playing low.
But that's not good. Yeah, no, that's it. Nothing else from him.
There you go.
He just gave his verdict on Victor Gyökeres' debut.
Yes, that we talked about last week.
He was backing that up. So that's about it. I don't think we have any other wild news. I will check one other wild news source just to see. Oh, no, I've got one for you. Oh, my goodness. And it's about the game that is going on right now.
Yes.
Wow. Hold on. I wish I had some kind of ridiculous sounder right now because, oh, my God. Let me make sure. Let me hold on. Let me make sure I have some sourcing on this because this is a big one.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to get double confirmation. I'm not going to be able to go fully into this. But we don't always do that here on Soccer Over There.
No. A report says blank.
We are somewhat messy in the rumor game with certain things, and this will qualify as that.
Was there a rat on the field at the stadium?
No. This is a whole different ball game. Don't look for it. Don't look for anything. I don't know if you could find it anyway. I'm going to see if there is anyone else. I do have one person talking about it. Okay, I've got that. Let me see if there is another one to get into this.
Another one.
Because this is hilarious.
Okay.
God, I love soccer over there for all these kinds of things. Let's see. Is there anybody else talking about it, or is this the only one? It probably is the only one.
Bijan Robinson, 19 for 170 and a touchdown, 6 catches for 72
Yeah,
yards.
good job, buddy.
He killed me tonight.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go with this, and I will give Christian Sandoval the credit. He has 136,500 X followers.
Okay.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah. That'll work.
He is Costa Rican. He is a reporter. He is a historian. I think pundit would be maybe the best way to put it.
Sure.
So this is translated from 8:33 p.m. Eastern time. This game is in Nicaragua. Is that correct?
No, it's at Estadio Nacional San Jose, Costa Rica.
It's in Costa Rica. Again, this is translated.
Mhm.
The public force, that's the police, I would assume,
Mhm.
appeared at the locker room of the Nicaraguan national team to arrest a player for child support.
Whoa.
The player was able to negotiate with the public force to play against Costa Rica, and after the game, present himself at the court to deposit the corresponding amount.
Wow.
I don't know who the player was.
Okay. I'm sure that it will probably end up with other.
Are we going to see, like, didn't we see this at one point where somebody was going to get arrested? I believe it was an Ecuadorian. Was it Inter Valencia? I might be wrong. I might be completely slandering Inter Valencia. Where he was going to get arrested and he got hurt, in air quotes, and got stretchered off and went off in an ambulance, and they didn't arrest him?
I think that's right. Yes.
I think that was Inter Valencia. Am I remembering this correctly?
I think so. Yes.
Because is this going to happen? Are we going to see a crazy injury late in the game to a Nicaraguan player, and they're going to try to get away?
That could be. Let's see. 2016, Inter Valencia chased by police
I
while
did
being
remember it.
carried off. Involved in a bizarre incident when the forward appeared to be chased by police while being transported on a medical buggy during Ecuador's 3-0 win over Chile. Valencia was substituted in the 82nd minute in the World Cup qualifier in Quito. Video footage appears to show the 26-year-old who had an oxygen mask put over his face being pursued by police officers as a medical buggy carried him along the running track surrounding the pitch to an ambulance. The incident occurred after reports Valencia was involved in a dispute over child maintenance payments.
See? Same thing.
AS reported lawyers accompanied by the police arrived at Ecuador's training session, attempted to have Valencia detained. In the report, lawyer for the mother of Valencia's child quoted as saying, "It is lamentable that certain police officers didn't collaborate with the detention of the footballer in Valencia to ensure compliance with a judicial order. If they say this man earns so much, why doesn't he pay the maintenance monthly to his daughter?" Valencia then retweeted a message from an Ecuadorian journalist. The agent said something as well. He says, "Enter as a father is fulfilled. Unfortunately, certain laws of our country have many gaps where they sentence fathers who do their utmost for their children." Further tweets from Vargas suggested Valencia's arrest warrant had been revoked. Welcome to 2016.
There is the tweet from Christian Sandoval, the translation of the tweet, just in case you thought I'd completely lost my mind.
No.
Yeah, they were going to arrest a Nicaraguan player in Costa Rica for failing to pay child support, and how that player negotiated to play
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and is going to take care of it afterwards.
It's like, yo, fam.
I got you. Just let me finish the game first.
Yeah.
Sure, dude. Whatever. That's fine.
Exactly.
My goodness, I love CONCACAF so much.
Yes.
It is the best. Let me hold on. I got to share that in the group chat for anybody who is going to find that and be like, "What?
Mm-hmm.
What is happening?" Yes, CONCACAF is happening. That's what's happening.
Yes.
Let me see if there's anything else wacky to add to the wackiness at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons are actually trying to win at home against Buffalo, which is awesome.
2-minute timeout. They're up 7.
Yep. Yes, Inter Valencia cooked Chris Richards at times in their last match, but Inter Valencia cooked the police. So I'm just going to say that he's got experience in cooking.
Mm-hmm. They call him the chef.
Do they? Really?
We just are now.
Okay.
He's a cook. He's cooking. Gordon Ramsay.
He's definitely not Gordon Ramsay. No, there's other chefs that I'd rather be than Gordon Ramsay. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
Puck.
Sure, that's one. Yes.
Oh! We have shenanigans with a keeper going down trying to draw a foul on a corner kick, but no such luck.
I just want to know who the Nicaraguan player is. That's all I'm wondering about in this game.
Yeah,
I just want to know who
pinball inside the 6 and cleared away, so we're still goalless in the 9th.
Jarrett says 95% chance the player sneaking out.
Exactly. On
Yes,
that note, sir,
I
I will leave the sign off to you.
Yeah, I think that's going to do it. No other shenanigans, no other chaos. So you got Costa Rica and Nicaragua, and you can try to identify which player is going to be trying to dodge the cops. You've got picks of the week. Hopefully you pick your games well. Hopefully the Falcons hold on to this and don't blow it. Arthur Blank is on the sideline. Hopefully going to be very happy at the end of this one. Mm-hmm. And we'll be back next Monday, and we'll be at the brew house, and we'll be talking about all kinds of things. But do not forget, if you missed it on our social media platforms, Around the Corner Lager, we got a beer. It's out, or it's going to be out. It's going to be out on Sunday at the brew house. You can come watch Manchester United and Liverpool, and then you can have an Around the Corner Lager. That's what I'm going to do. It will be available exclusively at the brew house. When the brew house second location in South Downtown opens, it will be there as well. It is available at NoFo tap rooms as well. It is powered by NoFo Brewing. It's a very cool partnership with us, with NoFo, and with the brew house. We are hoping to have it available in cans before the World Cup. That is the plan. So you'll be hearing a lot about Around the Corner Lager and being around the corner from everywhere all week long on the SDH network. Very good stuff. Will, we might get you to make some SDH hot sauce at some point down the road. Soccer for Good OG, we will not let John cook anything or have any of the hot sauce.
No.
But that's going to do it for this edition of Soccer Over There. Y'all have a good week, and we'll be back on Monday, and John will be back in the morning.
Yeah, Casey White will be joining us at 9:15, and we will also find out about Soccer EDU and what it's been like down in Florida from our friends branching out from French Scouting Services. We'll find out about that at 10:30.
Adios, everybody.